Now this is a big one. This is what I'm kind of known for, my love of the Paradigm Daleks from Doctor Who. I adore this design. Yeah, sure, I changed a couple of things about it, but that's just me. Like, it doesn't really matter what I think in the grand scheme of things. And I think that's one of the things we've got to remember. If we'd have stuck with the Paradigm Daleks, then I'm entirely sure that we would have had amazing stories, because the Eternal, we never found out what it did. And I just love the fact that we have a Dalek hierarchy, and like there's the scientist, strategist, drone, Eternal and Supreme, and that's just a fascinating idea to me. Like back in the old days, they'd have different coloured Daleks and things, and it was always just something that I just loved the idea of. And then because people didn't like the fact that the Daleks looked different, they just cancelled them. They just gave in to the backlash, and it's such a shame that the arc never went anywhere, because it was obvious. Well, was it obvious that they wanted to do something good with them? It's been revealed that they didn't know what the Eternal was. I don't think that they had plans, but I think given if people did warm to them, then maybe we would have got good stories. The flip side is, people complained, and we ended up getting Asylum of the Daleks, Into the Dalek, and The Witch's Familiar. I can see that Paradigm backlash really paid off. You're allowed to not like the design, that's completely fine. I don't really like the Destiny Daleks that much, I think they're pretty shit. I don't really like the Necros Daleks that much either, but at the end of the day, I love Revelation of the Daleks, I love the idea of the Necros Daleks, and I still love everything about that story. A simple design isn't really going to sway me when it comes to that kind of thing. And yeah, for the record, the character options action figure of the Necros Dalek looks better than the one on screen, in my opinion. I mean, if you just look at something like City of the Daleks or the Eternity Clock, the Paradigm works so well in that, because the majority of the Daleks would have been red. It wouldn't have been rainbows flying throughout space, because the Supreme would have been on his spaceship, and so would the Eternal, because there's only one of those. It would have just been like blue and red, like going around destroying planets, and I think the scientists would have like stayed on the ships and stuff. So yes, Victory of the Daleks introduced them wrong, because if you put the red Daleks next to the Ironsides are awesome. You put an awesome design next to this new design, which people still need to get used to. People are still going to be attached to the old ones, so when you destroyed those, it just didn't work, because it was like the Sixth Doctor syndrome.
I am the Doctor, whether you like it or not.
So it was a bad way of doing it, but I don't think that that should have overruled the creative team. I think that they should have stuck with it. I think they should have blossomed and just told these really awesome stories with potential. I recommend reading The Only Good Dalek if you haven't already. It's pretty much the closest thing that we could get to what it would have looked like on screen, and they've gone forth with it, and the designs don't really come into mind when you're reading it, because it's just a good story.